I've heard big boned, I've heard fat, I've heard chunky.
Fluffy, husky, chubby, curvy.
It's always the little comments, you know, that stick with you.
Yeah. Sloppy, ugly, obese.
Obesity is not a fun word. There's a lot of hate behind that word.
It is a interesting game, weight is, and how we all perceive weight.
Well, you're overweight. Overweight.
What does overweight really mean? Whose weight am I over?
You're lazy, you're unmotivated, you're not trying.
Are you active? Really?
Exhale, fold forward once again.
In our country, the idea of being fat is like the worst thing you can do.
Exactly.
The thing about being fat is that you have to exist in the world so that it's easy for everyone around you.
I didn't know that there was a form of beauty besides being thin.
We've recognized that it is not socially appropriate to be misogynistic, to be racist. Being fat is like this last sphere where it's really okay to be really cruel to people.
People really believe that fat people are just skinny people waiting to happen. That we are meant to be in a different body, and one day we'll get there. How can you live like that?
From the Fox 29 studios, this is Good Day Philadelphia.
Well, the world is gaining weight. On the Health Watch tonight, the new worldwide numbers on obesity.
Philadelphia, America's 5th largest city, where 1 in every 3 adults are obese.
Come on, if you carry this bag and that bag, I'll carry the rest. Deal?
Deal.
All right. Go ahead, strong man. Wow, Kingston, look at these cabbages. They're ginormous.
I know. When you eat that much cabbages, you're gonna get fatty. Yeah, you're gonna be chunky, I mean.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with chunky, honey.
Like a dog.
Oh, yeah. The dog is chunky. Me and the dog are a little chunky. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna defy everything. I wanna defy everything that you ever thought that you learned about a certain type of person. Look who's that. I'm on a calendar, kid. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a dancer. I'm a dance teacher. I'm a professional burlesque performer. I'm a mom. I'm every woman. I'm every woman. I've been doing burlesque for going on 5 years. Nobody understands why I'm doing what I'm doing. People that I love the most, like my family and stuff like that, they'll be kind of like, what is this? And they think you're a stripper. You're not. This is my passion. They think that burlesque is me acting out. That's what always hurts my heart. Like, if you just immersed yourself one time into my community, you would see what I'm actually doing is setting people free. I grew up competing my whole life, and I won. Like, I have pageant titles, I have trophies from dance competitions, solos, duets, trios, groups. Like, I was great, but a lot of that came with like a lot of really nasty stuff. Like, my mom used to be like, you know, you're never gonna get anywhere in dance. Being that size, you need to lose weight. This is a woman who came from training with Russians, where there are no fat bodies in the dance studio. My mom is a dance teacher and taught me my whole life.
Second turn.
She owned her own dance studio, and so we were the kids of the dance studio owner.
Hold. Stretch the right. Stretch the left.
She was the kind of dance teacher who got us on a scale every week, and I didn't have the body of a dancer. And she'll be like, you know, you could audition here, you could do this. We could go to New York, you're so beautiful, you're so talented, but you're fat. And that's not gonna, we're not gonna make it anywhere like that. I wanted to appease my mom so bad that I was willing to do anything. I remember making myself throw up after eating. I remember taking Hydroxycut. I was conditioned to a mindset of constantly watching my weight, even though know, I was just never going to be that perfect ballerina size. It broke me as a child, and I don't think that she realized that she was breaking me, but it was breaking me. I've been producing burlesque shows for about 3 years, and I've never produced a all-fat burlesque show. We're going green tonight. Tonight is my first ever burlesque event for fat performers like myself. I've never felt like I knew who I was until this moment right here. Here we go. Me doing burlesque is how I found who I was.
Are there other difficulties or challenges you faced as a larger body person in your personal life or your professional life?
I mean, besides all the time. I grew up the same way everybody else did, seeing tall, beautiful, thin women on television, in society, everywhere. I grew up with my mother, just this beautiful, athletic, tall, blonde woman. And that was the epitome of beauty. That's what it was. I was bullied as a kid pretty brutally at one point. It's hard. It's hard to know that you're fat, know what you are, and for people to still point it out. It's just killer to your self-esteem. Right before I went into culinary school, and I just decided, you know, this is what I want to be, and I'm going to show everybody that I can do it. Somebody said something along the lines of, what do you want to go into baking and pastry for? What, so you can eat all the desserts yourself? Why would you say that? I make cakes. Like, I make the world happy. Why? People, let me tell you. Don't even get me started with the guys that I've dated. The pinches on the cheeks, the, you would be so pretty if you could lose just 5 pounds, or, you know, hey, you got fat. So I just wanted to be thin so bad. Like, I would do anything for it. You know, starving myself, eating disorders. Well, you would really think like somebody with an eating disorder wouldn't be in my line of work, but you just wouldn't believe like what I've been through, all of the negativity that I faced in my past.
It's taken me probably the better part of the last decade of my life to realize that my body doesn't negate everything else that I am. I love to learn, I love to bring people together, but I also know that my body is fat, and that's fine. I still manage to find joy and success in life somehow in spite of that, like, God forbid. My immediate family is pretty small, pretty traditional nuclear family. My mom was an advanced practice nurse. My father was a physician. All the times I had spent at the hospital with my dad, most of the time I interacted with people, it was with nurses. And that's when I realized that that's what I wanted to do. Nursing is scientific, it's academic, but what I didn't see was a lot of nurses in larger bodies. Hi. I'm Suzanne. I'm one of the nurse practitioners.
Hi, Suzanne.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I think my struggle with weight probably began around middle school. So this is something I'm really cognizant of now as a nurse practitioner in a primary care setting. I specifically provide weight-inclusive care. I'm not looking to solely focus on people's weight while they're at a medical visit. So I'm not sure if you've ever had that experience before.
No, but that's really comforting, actually.
Yeah.
Like on the way in for a splinter, you know, they're like, get on the scale.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, here's some more bad news.
And I know a lot. You can meet patients that I see and just assume that they're fat because they watch TV and eat barbecued ribs all day or something. And do you take any daily medications?
I do have high blood pressure, and some of these meds are for that.
Okay.
And depression.
Okay. The reality is that there's usually some other something in there that also affects their experience with their weight. Do you think that depressive symptoms often get in the way of physical activity or motivation for that?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's something that I hear a lot. I try to hold a lot of compassion and empathy and let my patients guide the conversation.
I do a lot of times feel judged, like, well, why don't you just go for the walk? Or why don't you just eat less? Or why, you know, it's hard for people to understand, like, well, if it was that easy, I would have done it.
Everyone makes choices, but when you're fat, your choices are questioned. When you're thin, nobody questions what your choices are, even if you're doing some things that could be very harmful. In medical school and even in nursing school, we're not taught to interrogate sort of weight bias. I think our biggest obstacle is this is what we've been taught decade after decade, and so we often don't consider just how cruel healthcare providers can be, and I want to change it.
I was living my life so that when I walked away from you, the last thing that you would say about me was that Lexi is fat. And now I live my life like I'm fat. Let's both get over it together. And honestly, I think once I started my TikTok, The Fat Ingenue, and really reclaiming the word and taking it over, I've never felt freer in my body in this moment in time. Musical theater roles I can't play because I'm fat. Part 20. I saw Annie when I was 2 and dreamt of Broadway ever since. As cliche as it is, it's very real for me. I am classically trained since I was 14, and then I had always wanted to get my master's degree, and so I did it. Musical theater really is my passion, because it is this thing that teaches you empathy and understanding for other walks of life that you may never have seen before. And then you get to the industry, and it's almost polar opposite of that.
Hi, I'm Lexi Schreiber. I'm going to be doing a monologue called Stepsister Speaks Out. Hi, my name's Lexi Schreiber, and I'll be performing Ladies Who Lunch. I am 5'10".
When I really started committing to this as my career, as my path, people would talk to me about how hard it is and all that stuff, and come at it from an angle of like, you know, being an actor is hard no matter what your body looks like. But I always knew and felt that they were trying to warn me in a different way. This is gonna be harder for me because of my body. I was waking up at 4 o'clock to get to a bus by 5, to get to New York by 8, standing in line to be 372 on a list, not being seen. One audition I sang 8 bars. For context, like, I don't know, 10 seconds. Casting breakdowns of characters, they'll say things like attractive or athletic. Any other thing they can legally say without saying not fat. I recognize that this is an issue that all actors have to deal with. I'm not the only one. But looking around at my friends who are also talented and fitting into the ideal body, also struggling, I felt completely isolated and not good enough, and I didn't know what to do. Taking a step back, I just had this idea like I want to create conversation about why we cast bodies in the way that we specifically cast them in.
Every single day, I walk down the street. I hear people say, baby, so sweet.
My TikTok account is called @TheFatIngenue. I have a series of videos of me doing a cut of a song of a leading role. Musical theater roles I can't play because I'm fat.
Popular, you're gonna be popular.
It wasn't until the 4th video of my series that I did, it hit 40,000 views in a day. I was like, oh, it's happening, it's happening. I think people really, really, really want it. You know, people want to see diverse body shapes and sizes of women. Woohoo, uploaded. In the past 2 months, 1.6 million people have seen me perform. It blows my mind. Thank you for being an inspiration to plus-size theater kids. And then in parentheses, it says me. And it does make me, I mean, that's like why I do all of it. That's why I do any of it. Having millions of views is like amazing and exciting. But I've been really trying to figure out how do I get it to connect from this internet platform on the 4 inches of their telephone to real life Lexi Schreiber live in front of you.
Give my regard to Broadway.
For me, performing is the answer, and taking what inspired Fat Ingenue in the first place, which is my personal journey, and say it out loud and write it and get something on its feet that's real and tangible that people can come see me live. But for me to jump off this ledge into writing something for myself and also writing something personal is honestly kind of scary.
Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thick Veg. This is a all plus size cast, y'all. We're gonna have us a good ass night, okay? So make sure that you get your drink so we can get our big bitches up here shaking some ass and titties, okay? First off, the audience is cute. They are very excited.
They're cute. Hell yeah.
They're cute, and a lot of them are bigger body people. So it's like,
yes.
It's
our folk.
It's our folks.
It's our folk.
Second of all, most of you are the reason why I do Fat Burlesque.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go, Queen.
Honestly. Yeah. And most of you are the reason why I was able to escape my body negativity.
Aww.
It was chronic at one point.
I love you.
And then I saw y'all bitches on stage, and I was like, I can do that. I can definitely do that.
Hey, we don't even got dance skills like you.
Right.
She came out here, jumped into a split. I'm like, damn, bitch, you got
Next performer is the one and only queen of twerk, mistress of movement. Please give it up for your producer, Queen of Heart.
This is like so different from what I was taught. Like I'm able to live in my fatness. I'm able to take my clothes off and be free, even though it's like a f you to the way I was brought up. If I'm totally honest, I wish my mom would be a part of it so bad. I just want her to see how awesome I am. My whole life, all I've been trying to do is impress her. Now I'm dancing and my fatness is being celebrated, and she still does not accept it. It's like a part of my heart that would just never be healed.
Hey guys, we're gonna roll. Sound is rolling.
I'm the villain in this story. I'm gonna be a villain in this story no matter what, but if we roll back the tapes, I hope that people can understand why I reacted the way I did.